What do you think about outsourcing work to China or mainland Asia? There's a lot of controversy, if you want to say, about manufacturing and electronic companies out there, perhaps with wages or,
Sure.
it might be cheaper. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm kind of biased or split between, that's a very good question. As an American and as a CEO of an Asian-based company, a manufacturing company, I think I'd like to use the word balance or, well, actually balance is the right word. I think there's an imbalance there today. And I'll deal with the labor question and loss of jobs in this country and things like that. There is some onerous aspects to it. The reality is that human beings, consumers, want the lowest cost products. Where's the lowest cost region at this time or in this generation? And lower cost actually years ago was Japan. Years ago. I remember as a little boy, and you'd get a toy and it said made Japan, and it would break in a day after using it. Actually, Japan is now considered a very high-cost labor area and very high-tech, very advanced engineering, and you can see that with their cars and some of their optics, cameras and things like that. It's a natural, I don't want to say evolution or change, where you see the lower-cost regions of the world eventually becoming more democratic, realizing that they have to be more capitalistic in nature, China being a great case of that, and realizing that they have to be global in their economy and have to have exports and imports, and there has to be some parity there. There's no question that if I go back 5, 6 years ago, that there were more labor problems in China, for example. There was more unrest, more political issues, more political control. Some of those things still exist today, quite honestly, but I think there's some of those are relaxing as they realize there's pressure from the Western countries, the United States and the EU countries, to try and adopt more of a Western philosophy relative to labor laws, fair treatment, medical plans, not working too much overtime, and things like that. But China has a long way to go to, I guess, from a worker standpoint, to reach the way we've been socialized in this country and treat workers the way they do here. That being said, I don't think there's anything stopping China from its expansion, from growing and influencing the world in almost every way. China has almost 3 billion people. The United States has 350 million people. And the reality is those people want jobs in China. The work ethic's very good. China is turning out, I don't know the multiple on engineers and chemists and technically trained graduates out of the universities and grad schools in the United States and Europe, but it's exponentially higher than anywhere else in the world. So,
but considering the economy of the United States, do you feel like you owe it to this country to bring more jobs here instead of putting them away?
Well, that's the
American
other side
dream.
of the coin. There's the
Yeah.
balance.
What happened?
Well, there's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me
And
and Wayne are
that's
teaming up against
I
you.
guess that's my hypocrisy, right? Or the contradiction is, as an American, in seeing a lot of the manufacturing jobs leaving this country and going to low-cost regions like China. It's very disheartening. In the circuit board industry that I grew up in, up until probably 2000, 2001, still most of our customers bought circuit boards from manufacturers in the United States, and then there was this massive movement or migration of the product to Taiwan, China, Malaysia, Singapore, etc., Korea, South Korea, and jobs went with them. I know of a lot of people that have hired and or had to seek other careers in different industries because the circuit board manufacturing in this country is just a tiny portion of what it was years ago. So I am torn by that. I do want to see jobs come back here. And I think the only way that's going to happen is for the American consumer to be willing, at least for some time, to be willing to pay more for the goods and promote products in the United States, buy American, and actually buy a computer that maybe is $100 or $200 more, or a cell phone that's $50 or $75 more, that's made in the United States.
It'd be
versus
better
made in China.
made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah,
I'd like to.
generalize that, right?
Well, I'd like to say that, but the quality systems. You got to remember, companies, large electronic companies, such as Cisco, Sun Microsystems, Oracle Sun, now Apple, Dell, Google, those type of companies, HP, IBM. They have gone years ago and sought out the top manufacturers in Asia, and the quality systems and the equipment, the facilities, the training is world class. Is absolutely. I'm not saying the United States can't compete. We absolutely could compete, but the reality is that the wages that are over in Asia compared to the wages here, the amount of money we pay an engineer in China versus paying in the United States, the amount of money that pay salespeople, it's a dramatic or significant difference.